Alright guys, so we're talking about inherited bone marrow failure syndromes. Alright, so these are kind of like a group of diseases which later on we'll be talking about them. They have examples under them. So now talk about the examples one by one. So just like the name implies, it's basically this group of disease condition they lead to what? Bone marrow failure. You understand? So for these inherited bone marrow failure syndromes, they are just disease conditions that will lead to your bone marrow not functioning or producing what? Producing all those blood cells properly like you used to produce, right? So that inherited bone marrow failure syndromes are a group, all right? So there are different types of disease conditions under them. So they're a group of what? Rare genetic blood disorders in which there is usually some form of failure of the bone marrow to produce blood and is associated with a family history of the same disorder. So most of the times when somebody has a bone marrow failure syndrome, take the family history, you get to see that somebody at some time in life have had that kind of disease condition in their family. Okay. So some of these conditions have physical abnormalities and laboratory findings which suggest a specific diagnosis, right? So patients with these syndromes, they have a very high risk of what? Developing cancers. So we'll talk about acute myeloblastic leukemia, we'll talk about acute myeloid leukemia, we'll talk about a lot of these leukemias, right? So either leukemias or solid tumors, all right? So this is aplastic anemia. That's when your bone marrow is failing. So pancytopenia, this one is usually associated with what? A global hemopoietic defect. So examples of diseases under pancytopenia is Fanconi Anemia, Dyskeratosis Congenita, Schwartzman-Diamond syndrome, reticular dysgenesis, Pierson's disease or Pierson syndrome, familial aplastic anemia, and non-hematological conditions like what? Down syndrome, double wheat syndrome, right? So all of this have already been discussed on our YouTube channel. So if you want to watch a video on any one of them, you just comment, okay? Then single cytopenia is usually like anemia. So anemias like Diamond-Blackfan Anemia, the congenital or dyserythropoietic anemia, the severe congenital neutropenia, including things like what? Thrombocytopenia, where all these your platelet thrombocytes, their levels are kind of like going low. Could be congenital or megakaryotic thrombocytopenia or megakaryocytic thrombocytopenia with absent radii. That's when the child is born with the absence of the radius bone. All of this we'll be talking about them, right? So these are just the examples of the inherited bone marrow failure syndromes, which are a group of rare genetic blood disorders, right? So you stick with us and if you need any video on that, you simply comment. Okay, so that's it.